Hey everyone, it's Lisa. Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a hot minute since I have uploaded, and I'm hoping to explain why in today's video. I've got a few books to talk about. I've read some of these. I've got some of them on my TBR. Let's talk about these books, and we'll go from there. Okay, before we get into the books, let's talk about the elephant in the room. So I would say the main reason why I haven't been on this channel very much and honestly struggling to do a lot of anything is perimenopause has kicked me in the ass. Like, boom. And I know I mentioned it, I think, in another video, and one of you said, Lisa, you need to look up Dr. Marie Claire Haver and look at this. Like, a lot of what you're describing sounds like perimenopause, and I kind of knew it was, but it hadn't really clicked. It hadn't really sunk in. So, and it should have. I'm 51 and like, hello, what do you think's happening? So I did, based on that recommendation that one of you left me in the comments, and I'll go back and see who it was. I'm not even sure what video it was, but you recommended to me that I pick up The New Menopause by Marie Claire Haver. And I've been watching her. Like, if you don't want to read this book, she has a YouTube channel. She has TikTok. I'm not on TikTok, but she has TikTok and YouTube, and she does YouTube videos and shorts on Instagram. I watch a lot of her shorts on Instagram. This woman has changed my life, and I don't say that with any lightheartedness. So after like reading, I would say the majority of this, I was well over halfway through, I went and saw my doctor and said, this is what I got going on. And because I had read this, like, she had a whole chapter about how to prepare for your medical appointment in case your doctor isn't educated in this type of care for women. And I kept telling myself, he's not a bad guy. He just doesn't know. He's not an expert. And he's like, Lisa, you need to go talk to a specialist who's an expert in menopause and get the real help you need and deserve. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds great, man. But she has an 18 to 24 month waiting list. I'm not suffering for the next 2 years. So just for some context, I live in Canada. We have a social health care system, a provincial care, it's national. Everybody says we have a national health care. It's actually provincial. We have a provincial health care system. And to see a specialist, you have to have a referral from your GP. And then, because it's like, I don't pay to see my doctor, I won't pay to see the specialist, like, it's fine. That's, but the queues are long. So that's the downside of our healthcare. And I can't pay privately to see a specialist, even if I wanted to. So that's kind of where we're at in our healthcare system. But, I never see a bill. So that's the uptick. So when I read this, and I took this book into my doctor's appointment with me, and I tabbed a few sections that I wanted to like point out. And I pulled this out of my bag because he was reluctant, because I went in, disclaimer, I went in asking for hormone support therapy or hormone replacement therapy, whatever you want to call it, HRT. That I knew that was going to be a big piece of my puzzle. Now, I know it's not for everybody, and I'm not a doctor. I just play one on the internet, and this is for entertainment purposes only. But if you are suffering, like she says, you at least deserve the conversation. And I tell everybody about this book. A lot of people I work with and my friends, we're all about the same age, and I know a lot of my viewers are probably about my demographic too. And if you're like, this has been amazing. I got some other books here that I'm going to show you too. So I walked in there, and he told me that he's like, well, we usually don't start HRT until your period stops. And I'm like, oh my God, I was just talking to another woman I know, she had her period till she was like 58. I'm like, I'm not suffering for the next 7 years. So I convinced him. He said, well, what does she say to do? And I said, she says if you are under the age of 60 or within 10 years of menopause and it's right for you, sooner the better. And so he did. So I've been on it now for just about a little over 2 months. And I feel like I'm getting my life back. Like, I don't even know how else to put it. Like, my symptoms have all improved. I mean, I'm still dealing with like my hair loss and all the other things, but my vasomotor symptoms of like waking up drenched in sweat at night, like sticking to the sheets, sleeping on towels, changing my pajamas 3 times a night, sleeping like garbage, that is all really gotten better. Like, the hot flashes and I didn't have hot flashes too bad during the day, but it was the night sweats I was really struggling with, especially around when my period was scheduled to show up. So it's been really good for me. And if you're suffering with perimenopause symptoms like I was, and I'm not just talking the hot flashes, I'd say my other big complaints, just as equally as bad, was again my hair loss. Like, I've really thinned out my hair. I was looking back at pictures of myself from like 18 months to 24, 2 years ago, and like I had twice as much hair, and I was looking at my pictures going, oh my god, like, oh my god. So there's that. And then I've had acne really bad, and I've never had it struggled. I've never had acne, even when I was a teenager. The brain fog. Oh my god, the brain fog. I'd be like sitting at my desk at work going, what do we even do for a living? Like, never mind walking into rooms and forgetting what you're going there for. Like, we all get that. But I mean, real legit brain fog. And I just thought it was because I had too much going on, and I had too many projects to manage all at the same time, and I just didn't know where. And I've never had that. Like, I've been doing what I do for a living for like 25 years. I've never had that problem. So, and I would say those are, and then my biggest symptom that I didn't even know was a symptom was my general loss of desire to do pretty much anything. I barely went to the gym last year. I was active here and there because that's kind of just who I am. I rode my bike, but I didn't do any events. I didn't do any triathlons. I didn't do anything. And I feel like now that I've been getting on top of what I've been going through, those desires and interests are starting to come back. So I am running an 8K race next weekend. I'm doing a sprint triathlon out at UBC, the University of British Columbia, in March. And then I'm going to do the Vancouver half marathon in the spring, later in the spring. And then this fall, I am signed up for, and I want to do the Vancouver triathlon in September. And I actually have a goal. I want to PR my time from the first time I did it. So that I can tell. And then since I'm talking about my getting back into my sports, I did set up my new fitness tracker for 2025. I started back at CrossFit. I'm trying to go every morning in the morning. It's brutal. Getting out of bed to go is the worst part, but once you're there, it's great. And you're there to suffer for an hour. And I tell everybody, hi, if you're watching this from the gym, I am not there to be a crazy CrossFitter. I am there to lift up objects heavier than my purse, because that's another thing that Dr. Haber says is lifting heavy weights is key to building muscle and getting strong as we get older, and we will need to cling to that. So I'm really taking that advice to heart, and I love being back at the gym, and it's been wonderful. Everybody's been welcoming and welcome me back. So I've been writing, I have a color code system for the workouts I do every week, for running, swimming, biking, and if I take a rest day, and CrossFit. So I have a whole system set up, and it's just a nice visual reminder. I did a video about these a few months ago, probably. This is my 4th book of these, so I've been at it for some time, and it's really nice to be able to look back and see where I was and how much I've lost fitness, but I know that I can gain it back. So there's that. Let's see, I got a couple other books. So Mary Claire Haver, she's also got more of a nutrition-based book out. This is called the Galveston Diet, and I haven't read this cover to cover. She talks about a lot of what she covers, similar-ish as her other book. But this is more dietary based. So she's got some recipes in the back, and really about the emphasis on getting good quality food, and as women, getting more protein and more fiber in our diets. Like, those are the two key things. So I've been really trying to do that as well. Not that my diet's been like terrible, but I can definitely like just get lazy and eat nothing but carbs, right? So, and I'm an endurance athlete, so I'm not afraid of carbs. I eat carbs, I'll eat any kind of carb, I'm not afraid of them. But in the wrong amounts, or, you know, spending too much time on my couch instead of my bike, it doesn't work. So I do use this as more of a reference. The other book that I have that I haven't completely read, looks like I'm about halfway through, but it's been a while since I picked it up, is called What the Fresh Hell Is This by Corinna. Perimenopause, Menopause, and Other Indignities in You. It's really good. It's funny, it's insightful, it's, you know, she's not coloring anything overly different than what Dr. Mary Claire Haver is covering, but it's just another great resource to flip through or look through if you're thinking, is it just me? Am I going crazy, or is it something else? Like, but it's really nice to hear another side of the issue. And then dovetailing off that too, I do have the Menopause Manifesto, a very well-known book by Dr. Gunter. She's also on social media and Instagram. Fantastic. I've read, again, I'm really classic Lisa. I read half a book and then I'm like, I kind of stop sometimes. It's particularly with nonfiction, but I do that with fiction too, let's be honest. But so this is Own Your Health with Facts and Feminism. So this is really good. This is really good. So again, she's just driving home that same message about self-care, hormones, and all the other types of, yeah, not all the other types, but the other systems in your body that are impacted by perimenopause and menopause, like bone health, your bladder, everything. So it's, she's really good. So if you don't have to read all of these, like I would highly recommend, I've read most of this one and Dr. Mary Claire's book, The New Menopause. I would recommend, those are the top two, I'd say. This one's fun. And then for overall health, I think I've shared this one before. This is called Outlive by Dr. Peter Attia, and he's got a really well-known podcast, I believe, and I have listened to it. And this is about just overall, this is for men and women. It doesn't specifically talk about menopause or perimenopause, but it's just about overall health and physical health as we age, and the main things that, you know, take us down in the end, like, you know, cardiovascular disease and Alzheimer's and things like this. So it's about a holistic approach to lifestyle and trying to not just live longer, because, you know, in our current medical system, like living longer is always the outcome, like the goal. But as we age, our quality of life tends to nosedive, you know, as we get there to an older age too. And he's stressing, yeah, we want to live longer, but we also want a higher quality of life right to the end and then drop off and die, right? So that's basically what he's saying in this book. And it's how to stack the cards in your favor to have a healthier life and a higher quality of life as we get older. So that was that one. And I think I got one more, and this is just for fun. So this is called Amazing Grace Adams by Fran Littlewood. It's not a very big book. This is fiction, and this is fun, and I haven't read it yet. I think I've read like the first chapter or two, and I was like, oh my God, I have to read this. So I just started this, and it's about this woman, and I don't think she's overly unhinged. She might be, but she's struggling with perimenopause. So I thought it fit in this basket of books, a little spread of everything we've got. We got a little fitness book, we've got some menopause book, little nutrition book, general health, and then, you know, it can't all just be boring. There has to be some fun. So anyway, so I just thought I'd show you this one too. It's, I should have read it before I started filming. It's just about a woman who finds herself in midlife, and she goes on this adventure, I believe, and it's apparently supposed to be really funny. So, I mean, look at the cover. I mean, it's got to be funny, right? So anyway, I'll tell you more about this when I get into it. If anybody's read this and they liked it, let me know. But, you know, it's not very big. It's like 250 pages. It's, you know, I could probably read this if I sat down like in a day or two. So yeah, anyway, so that was just for fun. So that's what I got going on, and that's why I have not mainly been on my channel very much. I've just, you know, all last year I really realized, like, after spring and into the summer, I just wasn't feeling very good, and I just couldn't put my finger on it, and I didn't know why. And I knew my hair was falling out, and I knew I was doing all these things, and I knew my period was changing and all these things, and it wasn't until I really started being my own self-advocate and learning about what I'm actually going through and how to advocate for myself in my doctor's office, knowing what I needed for my own health, and I can't see myself going back. So I'm really open about it. I'm happy to talk about this. I think it is a topic that needs to be shared more with no shame and not a secret, or this women's, like, the change, like, and all this stuff, like when my mother was going through, but I'm like, you know, like, it's so different nowadays. Like, let's talk about this stuff. Like Dr. Haber says, 100% of women, if they live long enough, will go through menopause. 100% of women. Like, this should be no surprise, and it shouldn't be kind of swept under the carpet and something you just have to get through or deal with or get over or whatever. So I'm a big advocate for my health, and because I'm such a active person, and the fact that I was losing interest in the things I love doing, like this channel and running or whatever, and I just didn't want to do any of those things. So I do feel like I'm getting back to my old self, which is amazing and a wonderful feeling. And I am just thrilled about all of that. Like, it feels really good. So anyway, I will ramble, but thanks for dropping by and hanging out with me. And if you've read any of these books, let me know. Or if you've got any other books on this topic that you think would be useful, or you read and thought, oh my god, you should read this one, it's amazing, or recommend anything else, just drop us some notes in the comments, and I do read them. I try to reply to everybody, and if you had any other thoughts to share, please do that. And if you are going through menopause, or you know somebody who is, or you know, you must have women in your life, smash the thumbs up. Like I said, drop me a comment below if you like, and I will see you in the next video. All right, have a good day out there, you guys. Bye, 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 bye. If they're going through this and we're not along, or if you're going through this with me, let's hit the script. Oh, cut that. What am I trying to say?